Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening somewhere. And we are on TGIF. It's Friday, so it's the end of the week, and we'll see how everything plays out. Mr. Powell, the markets rallied yesterday. They've shifted Mr. Powell to speak at in a hour and a half now. Whereas before he wasn't going to speak until this evening when the markets were closed. So that kind of scared the markets for a while. I think that really did put some pressure on the markets. You know, the Dow dropped about 1,100 plus points, and I think that was part of the reason was, they were like, wow. Hey, Robin, did you see those Forex charts? I think that's what it was. It was Powell was. Everybody was wondering what is Powell going to say. Fear Jackson Hole. The headlines were over and over and over again. So, here we are now. Mr. Powell is going to speak in an hour and 29 minutes or something of that nature. And hey George, how you doing? So it's calmed the markets down. Yesterday the Dow picked up about 300 points from it all. And we'll see how they play this whole story out now. What Mr. Powell's going to say, as they say, he will deal with the dual mandate. He has two mandates supposedly by Congress. I say supposedly because it seems like they're always asking him to do this, that, and everything, from cooking the dinner to washing the plates and basically going out and foraging for the food. So, all right, you can see here we have the dollar index this morning. Again, another day on pressure on it. You can see the two red hinky ASCIIs on the J4X. You can see the green line. July personal income went up 0.2%. Estimation was going to be 0.6. So it's much lower than they were expecting. Huh. 4.6% year over year. So that's a personal income. So you can see here the green line breaking underneath on the J4X. You can see over here in Chicago Quant, it's basically the same thing. The green line is below the zero line, showing that pressure. And so that's where we're at this point. Morning to George and Robin. Robin, did you see those charts I sent over to you? Just double checking there. On the Forex, I thought that was a good cross mingle, cross group for what you were asking for. So you can see here, dollar is sideways down. I guess that's the best way to look at it. You can see also at the same time down here on Chicago Quant, we're cleanly through. Looks like a second week in the buy. And so we'll be starting off next week, more than likely, above the zero line, and we'll see how they keep on marching. It seems like the dollar, they don't seem to want to sell the dollar. The dollar just does not seem to want to back off. As you can see on Chicago Quant here, we've been in a lot more weekly buy periods. It goes into a weekly sell for a week. And then back in March, it goes into a weekly buy, and it goes on all the way to June. We go into a weekly sell, and boom, right back into a weekly buy again. That leads all the way to from June, early June, to mid-August. And then here we go again. It goes into one weekly sell again for a third time over that 8-month period. And this is the weekly signal, and we end up in a weekly buy again. So that's one thing that's very clear, is they don't want to sell dollars. All right, from there, let's take a look at some of the individuals. Let's go to the euro and see what the euro looks like this morning. It's been playing with that parity. I think they closed it in a daily buy yesterday in our work. We'll find it in a second. Yep, you can see there, Hinky ASCII is green today. You can see that green line on the Hinky ASCII daily has been pressing up for days now, and finally that the stochastic lines, and then the Hinky ASCII joined in. Let's take a look at it over here on Chicago Quant. Right there. Yep, closed in a daily buy last night. right there, and holding relatively firm today. So we're seeing that little strength drifting back into the pairs trades and away from the dollar at the moment. Now we just like to see the euro try to get back into the weekly buy, as you can see right there. And then at the same time, the where are we at now? You can see right here is cable. Let's see what the cable's up to. And cable is the British pound against the dollar. You can see same situation, one green. And that also closed in a daily buy yesterday. Interesting. It's doing a little flirting with the sell side of it. Interesting. Very interesting. But we're getting volatility signals. There's 2 days in a row of volatility signals of green, red, and then red, green, and then getting into a buy. But again, the same situation. It's showing the weakness here. It's got that weakness. Now over on J4X, you can see it took a couple days, but they finally got us a green hinky with the green line turning up on the J4X. It's stochastic turning up. So that pressure is cruising along. Anybody out there like to see anything particular, just fire it out. It is Friday. I like to have some fun, see what's going on other areas that we don't normally follow, that type of thing. So if anybody can think up of something like, what was it yesterday? YOLO? Someone asked about a stock. YOLO. I thought that was interesting. What else do we have? Oh, we have like Jordan, or is it Method? It pays attention to the Nikkei, or 47 does the same thing, follows Nikkei. Anything out there you want to see, just shout it out. We'll go after it instantmatically. All right. From here, we go over to the Swiss franc. See what the saltine is doing against the dollar. You can see it right there. 1 day now with a hinky. And again, that green line had broken right here. Where's it at? Right there. So, is it 1, 2, 3, 4 days back? It broke down. And it's been pressuring itself. And let's put it up over on Chicago Quant. There it is. Now that's still holding up in a buy. That tried to bounce a little bit down, but notice it's even with a red dot today. Right here, we can widen that so you can see it a little bit better too. You can see that right there, and it's a down candle yesterday, but we're still in the buy, and it's survived there, and it seems to be even bouncing. Now this is the curious part, is the weekly here is starting to turn after topping out in the 99-ish area, 98.30 area, I guess it is 98.30 area. It fell all the way down to 94-ish area, and now it's turning back up again, and we got into that daily buy, and it's staying in that daily buy. It's not letting go there. Crude oil. Okay, cool. I'm up for that. And there is the spot month of October. That's the new front month. As you can see there, it's flirting with a daily sell today, but pretty much unchanged or a little plus for it. And you can see at the same time the weekly closed in a weekly buy last week, and you can see there's a daily buy there. So it's been an interesting little move here from the 89-ish area all the way up to the 95.76 area. So that's pretty good. Boy, the stories do fly. I mean, they really do fly all over the place. Nuclear power / Green New Deal. It's just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And climate change is hitting the whole solar system at this point. Who would have thought SUVs and India and China pollution could affect all the planets in our solar system? That is something, isn't it? Very powerful. I'm surprised with that much power we're not able to jump to Mars in like a 3-week period or something. Why it takes months upon months, I don't know. When you have a planet and all our power of influencing all the weather across the whole solar system at this point. We're seeing climate change on Mars. We're seeing it on Was it Jupiter and Saturn? You know, we're seeing it everywhere. So this fossil fuel is something. All right, from there, let's see what else can we say about that. Let's take a look at Brent. Real quick flash over to the Brent. There it is right there, trading in the 99s. It was at 102 and change yesterday when we looked at it. Now it's at 99.82, just underneath the century mark. You see the green line has broken, the dashed line there. Trying to do the same exact thing as we're doing here on the American crude, breaking down. And if we get a red hinky there, then it even puts more pressure to confirm that the pressure is on the downside there on the fuel. All right. Let's see now. Let's go to back, I guess, to the currencies, if nothing else. If George, you have anything else you want to see, just shout it out. So that finishes off the Swiss. Let's go over to the dollar Turkish lira, hanging out in the 18s. You see that there, 1818 with a high of 1820. Fascinating. And then we slide over to the euro Turkish lira, which is now trading parity with the dollar Turkish lira, which is fascinating. Let's see, where are you? Right there. Nope, not that. Nope. Oop, wrong way. There it is. Wow, there you go. You can see that strength in the hinkies. You can see the green line turning up. And it's trading at 1823, and we can see that the over here we're trading at 1818. So we have seen the discount change dramatically. November beans, Doc. Sure. That is something, beans. They went into a sell, I think, a day back. This is their second day. Most of the grains all found their way into weekly buys last week. Only, I think it was red wheat that did, but white wheat did not. So the baking wheat for cakes and cookies and so forth did, and the wheat used for bread did not. And there it is right there, November beans. You see it's trying to lift back up again from yesterday's sell. It did make a new low, but not that much. And you couldn't take the short, obviously, because, again, why, traders? Because we're in a weekly buy going on a second week. So we couldn't take a short. You could only just take your profit. So, in other words, if you got long here in the 14, you were liquidating it in the 14.5 or possibly even higher. Went as high as 14.84. So that's where we are now with the beans. And let me show you, since we're here, and let's put it up on the J4X too. There's beans right there. And you see it's been, vacillating back and forth. In many ways, that's like a reverse head and shoulders. You would think that they're going to try to go back up to the 18 area again. I hope that helped out. I find it interesting overall. The grains. Let me just show you really quick. There, not that. Right there. You see that went into a weekly buy. Corn went into the weekly buy last week. Red wheat went into there last week. This week it's battling its way. This is the white wheat that they make bread out of. It's trying to break down in there. Just save that. There we are. And let's see, what else can we say about the grains? And then obviously we showed you soybeans. So you can see corn and soybeans are in weekly buys, and red wheat is in a weekly buy, but the other is in a sell. But not anymore. You can see it's been above all week long. Since we started this week, the white wheat has been over the weekly buy number all week long. All right, from there, we shift over to let's see, where are we? We go back to the currencies, like so. And there it is right there. And from there we went from Turkish lira, Euro Turkish lira, which is, let's look at that one more time real quick. Right, just saw it right there. It's in a daily buy from yesterday, and it's lifting up, and it's in a weekly buy. So we're seeing some pressure. And obviously we see the dollar Turkish lira trying to, stay in that buy now on a weekly basis, and it's not working too hard about it. It's been in a buy since February. It's funny how the dollar trades. How it trades. It's really funny. It's odd to me in many ways, but it trades like an index. All right. From there, what else we got going on when it comes to the Turkish lira? I guess that's about it. And you can see it over here again on J4X. There it is. And that pressure is on. Okay, from there we will drift over to the Canadian, which makes us look at oil. We already know oil is flat to unchanged at the moment. And there is Canadian. It's been trying to press down as oil goes up in value. You can see it's the third day in a sell, and you can see the weekly is being approached. I guess that's the best way to describe it. The weekly in the U.S. dollar Canadian pairs trade is being approached. It's coming closer and closer to it. Now from the Canadian, we always look at oil, and we just saw oil, and we can see it's trying to be firm. It's trying. And as I was saying, I have a hard time believing anybody's going to sell the oil market on any particular level. It would really surprise me. Solely because, just as they were talking about who's afraid of, what do they call it? Afraid of the POW at Jackson Hole. At the same time, people are very concerned about the action in the energy market. It's not a very positive thing at the moment. Everybody's nervous that we're not going to have now there's some strange talk about having to cut our imports. That's really wild. I can't exports. I'm sorry, exports. So we're really surprised on that. Hold 1 second. We need to. Let's see. Need to grab my phone. I hear it in the distance. Let me just grab my phone. I will be back in 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I heard my phone in the distance. A few more seconds. Okay, we are back. We just had to grab our phone. You could hear it in the distance ringing. I'd like to see who I'm ignoring when it rings. So, let's see. Okay, I'm just answering it. Gonna start calling. Yeah. And so, when we look at the energy sector and we look at Canadian, they kind of move usually in the same direction. Now that there's actual talk of less exporting natural gas here in the States, it's going to be just one real topsy-turvy winter when it comes to heating and so forth. We're hearing the problems across the industrialized world, and we're always used to the developing world having its issues. That's why they're considered the developing world. But it's hard to believe that the industrialized nations somehow or another have lost the ability to generate energy, especially when we're influencing, the whole solar system at this point. I mean, climate change is happening everywhere in our solar system. So with that type of power, it's so hard to believe we can't heat houses on Earth. That's the strangest thing of all, From there, we go from talking about energy to metals. So we'll go to the South African Rand, and we'll tune into that right there. And as you can see, the Rand is kind of flattish. So I would assume that the metals would be looking up. I know silver closed in the daily buy yesterday. Let's see on J4X where gold is today. There it is right there. There it just turned green again on the Hinky. It looks like it's down a little bit though. Let's see what we got going on over here. I have gold basically trading down about $12, something like that. And you can see right here, gold right there. You see, it's putting some real pressure on it today. We couldn't get into as you can see here, we're not able to get into the daily buy even when it tried to move up. Due to the fact that we're in a weekly buy, you weren't given the opportunity to try to catch this nice little bounce here. Now, we're in a weekly buy, so it's awful hard to take a short. We are stuck in a neutral situation where it's been in a sell since the 18 and change area, and it has fallen down to 1750. So we're really trapped in that storm. Ready to make some money? Hell yeah. So, what are you thinking, Storm? You got an idea? We can go chase together? What do you got? Spill the beans. See any particular sector that's exciting you? Or you're just out there just looking for a good trade? Yeah, so on that energy thought, until Storm kicks in, I can imagine all the energies being kind of firm and kind of confused and kind of scared of who wants to take a profit when we have such a dramatic event going on Earth, where not enough energy to feed the basic fundamentals of keeping warm. I see gold dropping. Yeah, it is. See that right there? They're putting pressure on it again. What's kind of curious is silver. Here's silver. The silver is in a daily buy for the last couple of days. It's moving up. It's in the weekly buy, so you can catch that ride. But it's odd. The gold is stuck in a weekly buy for the last 3 weeks, and it's been in a daily sell for 3 weeks. So, wow, they don't love it. They don't hate it. They just don't want it. That's the weirdest one. I really think that we're going to see a firmer metals market in the fourth quarter. So I keep on watching and waiting, and we'll see. The Fed isn't interested in silver. I agree. I saw a really weird TV commercial on one of the financial channels yesterday. A guy comes in there and he says, "I'm green, and our future is green, and so you got to buy silver." And I was like, huh? And then he went along talking about the electrical era, and and how we need silver for computers and copper for armatures for engines. And he said, if you're concerned about the climate, you need to buy silver. I was like, whoa, someone's bit that one. They got that hook in the teeth of everybody. I'm not green. I buy an SUV. Those SUVs are wrecking the whole solar system. We got climate change hitting all the planets at this point. Mars now, the temperatures are changing. And so I guess we must have launched a few SUVs onto the planet Mars and Jupiter and Saturn that are all having climate problems. And Pluto. I still consider Pluto a planet, of course, and because it has an atmosphere and so forth. You're right. Storm, I'm with you. You know, we'll rule the solar system together with our machines. So yeah, it's awful hard to see energy sold, and it's awful hard to believe that metals, with the inflation and everything, is not going higher. But the gold is having its issues there. Look at that. They are just sitting on that thing. And we're on a third week in a daily sell, and we're 3 weeks in a weekly sell. It does not want to give up. It is just refuses. So, all right. From there, we drift over to... So we looked at the South African Rand. Let me just go back to the Rand real quick, and you can see it there. It's just kind of stuck in neutral, trying to go back down. And it's in a daily sell for 3 days. So it's been pressuring itself. If we can see this Rand come down and take out the 16, head down in the middle, from there, maybe we'll see a nice rally in the metals market. But right now, we're just not getting that. All right. And from there, we jump over to the Japanese yen right there. And there you can see the yen. We got a red hinky developing. Green line's been breaking down on J4X. And over here in Chicago Quant, you can see it's just kind of cruising the last day or two. It's in a daily sell. There's pressure. You can see the weekly, it's going in reverse direction. The weekly is trying to lift up. We are in a situation where a lot of things are happening and there's not a lot of answers to them. All we can do is follow the math. Follow the math. That's about it. All right, over there on J4X. Did we look at gold on J4X? I'm sure we did. Yeah, a little red hinky going on right there. And that pressure has been on for, was it from the 21st, and what's today, the 26th? All week long, that pressure's been on with the green line. Just like we had it in Chicago Quant. The only difference is that our green line was very minus, and the histogram was minus, and the red dots were all there. So, ooh, what do you got? Storm says, I'm green. I ban plastic bags, plastic straws, and only allow paper stuff. Forests I cut down. I love that for this. But okay, I'm green. Then that's okay. I hear you. I farm. I grow plants. I talk to the plants. And I eat the plants. And sometimes I eat their leaves even. And so, I hear you. I do. So, let's see. What's the next step from there? From the metals market, we were just looking at yen. So let's go back over to yen. And we did look at yen over here on J4X. Right there. So that's pretty much the action there. Now let's drift over to the Mexican peso. Right there. You see the peso is trying to play with that bottom end of the range. There it is. Yeah, they're mentioning it now. Mr. Powell is speaking at 10. He's cooled off the market, stopped it from being scared. Us scared. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was us scared, but now it's back into being unscared. Ooh. Okay, from there, looking at the Mexican peso, this is the last currency we normally look at unless someone wants to see something. You can see it's playing with the bottom end of the range right there. And you can see over here on J4X, same situation, bouncing around. The line has not turned, but it's getting close. It's starting to curve. Over here, we've got it already curving and heading towards the zero line. But we are also, at the same time, a couple weeks now in the weekly sell. 3 weeks to be exact. So, we had that daily sell there, and then we got into the weekly sell, and the pressure was good. Then it jumped into a daily buy right there. And you couldn't get long, you just weren't short. And then it goes into a sell again, and another little teeny weeny winner chicken dinner. All right, from there we drift over to The metals market. I guess what if the metals are up, we'll see that. If it's the oils or the energies, we'll see that. It's gold. All right, so from gold, we will slide to silver, and you can see that strength in the silver, or at least it's up. Let's put it that way, and it's 4 weeks in a buy compared to 3, I think it is in gold. Let's see. Gold could be 4 also. Yeah, it's 3 weeks in gold. Okay. Now let's look at copper. Copper is 3 weeks in copper, and copper is taking out a 2-month high. Is that what it is? Let's see. Late June. What's the high there? High is 72.90, and today's high is 77.80. So it's taking out the July and the August highs at this point. They are lowering rates in China. That's the only thing I can figure out why they're reaching. Or I guess maybe that TV commercial. You want to be green, buy silver and copper. That's what they're saying. So maybe that's the story. Maybe money is starting to come into that. I would imagine, metals get very influenced by interest rates. So I'd imagine that money is seriously taking a firm look at what's going on with the interest rates. There we go. All eyes on Jackson Hole. New announcer comes on, and first words out of their mouth. All eyes on Jackson Hole. All right. Let's take a look at platinum. It's Friday. We usually look at this every other day. You can see platinum, the daily is trying to push into the sell. The weekly is holding up, but it is very weak at this point. The pressure is on it. So it needs to get lifted. It needs to lift back up again. And with that weekly signal, this could be it. And then the next weekly signal could be the one. Back in late July, let's do this. Let's put Let's put gold on here. Let's make it a weekly. You can see there, it was pressuring up in gold, and you can see here platinum jumped into a weekly buy 5 weeks ago, 5 weeks back. So back in here on the gold, is that right? Right here, right there, that was the turn. And you can see platinum over here. Let's scrunch it up so you can see it a little bit better. You see it went into the buy back here in late July. And last time they did that, we had that wild nice hump right there. That was in mid-May. And let's see, you can see back in going into January, we went into a buy in platinum. It ran up almost $200. And what did gold do at the beginning of the year? So we're thinking that if we get, just take a look at it here. We're thinking that there it is right there. You had that movement right there. Is that it? No, it's here. This is it, the move right there. Right there. So we're thinking if we get into a weekly sell again in platinum, then back into a weekly buy, this could be the good buy. This could be Mr. Goodbye. That's what I'm thinking in my head. We've seen the same scenario play out in the dollar-yen pair trade. It went into weekly sells for months, and it'd go into a weekly buy and then stall out, then go into a sell and then go into a buy again and stall out, and then finally, when it got up to the 115 area one more time, after the third time, I was like, oh, this thing's going to run. And it ran. It ran from 115 to 140. We were just looking for it to get to 125, but it just exploded, just kept on running, never looked back. So I think that's where we stand now with the metals complex. If platinum gets sloppy in here again and gets into a sell, and then turns and gets back into that buy, this could be the one that lifts silver. Well, silver's already trying to lift. Gold and the rest of it. You can see there with the silver. That's a full 4 weeks. So then platinum went into that weekly buy back in here. So that's really interesting to see that type of action going on. All right, from there, let's see, where do we go from there? We've done gold, we've done silver, we've done copper. There's the copper, taking out 2-month highs. And what other metal? We looked at platinum. So I guess we're basically done to the metals, unless someone comes in and says, "Hey, I want to see those things." I'll say, "Oh, sure, we'll go back and look at them. That's no problem." All right, from there we drift over to the energies, and there is the front month crude oil. You can see it's flirting with a sell, but it's in its weekly buy, so you can't take the short. You can only wait for something to show you that it's trying to turn back up again. And there's Brent. Brent's been in a weekly buy for a while now. You can see that. No, I'm sorry, daily buy for a while now. And you can see the same thing happened with us in crude oil. Now let's look at the contango itself. We're going to do this. We're going to put the crude oil up on the screen, which is the spot, the 92.77 we're looking at. Then let's take a look at the, we'll go to the November right there. See, November is flirting with its daily sell also. It's trading at 92.38. And you can see, the spot is trading at 92.76 on Dukascopy. So we're only looking at a spread of about 30 cents. I think it was 80 cents yesterday. Then we go and take a look. Oh, I know. That was December, I think it was that. Let's take a look at the December contract. There it is. And trading at 91.65. So yeah, it has a dollar contango connected to it at this point. So with the front month trading at 91.67, no, where's it? 92.78. This is trading a dollar underneath it. So that's what the 3-month is looking like. I can say, a couple months ago it was like $3 wide, that type of thing. $2.5, $3.5 back and forth. All right, from there. We jump over to natural gas. There's September natural gas. You can see it's trying to lift up. We are in a weekly buy for 4 weeks. Of course, with the way things are going in Europe right now and energies, they're going to be scrounging around for more energy. And there it is again. We need to take all that power that we have controlling the climate and control our temperature here on Earth. Stop sharing it with all the other planets in the solar system. All right, and then let's go back. That's October there, so it's doing the same thing as September. Now let's take a look at the euro market itself of natural gas. There it is right there. You see it's on a consistent rampage. It's at its highs of the week, almost hitting 30. We're seeing that. Our natural gas, as you can see up on the screen in October, trading at 9. It's going after the $10 area again, especially being in a weekly buy, and that doesn't seem to want to stop it in any fashion whatsoever. I'm green with my food source. I'm green there. All right, that pretty much cleans up the view of the energy sector. Brent kind of flush at the kind of tangled or tied around the century mark, $100, and just watching all the rest of them kind of just bounce around, All right. Let's see what else we got going here. I guess that's let's take a look at what they call gas oil, or what powers the gas-powered automobiles. Right there, it's October contract. You see, it's been in a sell for a bunch of days with lots of red dots, and we're in a weekly sell now all the way since the beginning of July. So we're feeling that pressure for the last 2.5 months. Now, it hasn't gone really that dramatically from there. I mean, it went into the sell in the $3 plus area, and now it's gotten as low as 250. So it's kind of been a slow, steady stall, you know. Let's see, and let's take one last other look, and that is heating oil. There it is right there. There's September heating oil. That's the diesel, basically, and heating your house. It's been on a pressure ride from the 333 area to yesterday's high of 393. 60-cent move over 2.5 weeks. So, let's see. Why is that there? You remove that. There we are. It's been in a daily buy now. What's that? 4. That's 8. That's 12. That's 13 and 14. So 3 full weeks. Who else was in it? I think gold is in a sell for the same 3 weeks, which is really odd. You know, you would think that they would be reaching for that stuff, but they're not. Curious, isn't it? Very curious. All right. What do we do now? We can go over to the stock indices, and let's also at the same time look at the cryptos. So let's go over to Bitcoin right there. Start off with that. You can see Bitcoin in a daily buy for a couple of days now. I guess it's 2 days right there. We tried to do it in here, but somehow or another we've gotten this cross situation there. But we're in a weekly sell, so it makes it even more tough. There it is right there. So that's the Bitcoin coming towards the end of that contract, but it's been good action. We've been in a weekly buy, and then we finally slid into the weekly sell last week. So at this point in time, the real action has been on the upside, and now since the weekly sell of last week, before that we were 3 days in a daily sell at the same time. Almost 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a daily sell. And then yesterday it finally closed in a daily buy. And we are also at the same time looking at 3 out of the 4 giving us volatility signals. That's very rare to see something like that. All right. From there, we'll take a look at the S&P 500. Oh, let's put it up on J4X first, the Bitcoin. There it is right there. Same battle going on. Only difference is it put itself into the daily buy 3 days back. And at one point I thought we were there too, but it seems like we picked up a red at the same time. All right, from there we jump over to the S&P 500 right there. You can see it's in a second day of a daily buy. We've been in that long weekly buys now for a whole 7 weeks. So there's definitely money moving into the equity universe. And then let's put it up over here. There it is right there. 2 days in that buy, same as us. The pressure is on the upside. Now, we'll take a look at the Tech 100. Same situation, 2 days in a buy, and cleanly in the weekly buy right there. Put Tech 100 up on the screen here. There it is right there. And you can see right there the Tech 100 firm, the weekly firm, J4X firm. So obviously the nibbling away. Matter of fact, what are they doing? You can take a look what they're doing to the stock indices as they get prepared. I mean, Powell will probably be releasing his statement in the next 30 minutes. The webinar will be over with. But I'm surprised because I thought for sure that, he was going to speak after the markets closed on Friday. The moment they let that news out that he was going to speak on, in the morning of Friday now, it has perked up the markets altogether. One of the really good analysts I've always heard and listened to throughout the years, I remember when he was a clerk, he was a great analyst. And he became an analyst and he runs his own fund now. And he was saying, buy the rumor and buy the speech. Both. Get long. He's reaching in with both hands. And he has a good track record. So he's up there with my math. So that's not bad. You can see here the Dow Jones Industrial Average is filling in. Let me just double check how long that is. Okay. Well, you can see here, there's the Tech 100. Went into a daily buy there. Intraday buy. Went into an intraday buy there and rode that whole ride up. Then we went to the daily sell there, or intraday sell, and started breaking off. And still in that sell. Yeah, still in the sell. Now let's take a look at the S&P 500. Right there, same situation. Went into the daily buy 15 minutes into our webinar. And you can see here now, went into the daily sell right up in here. And the pressure has been on ever since. No, it hasn't pierced. Interesting week it is. Now, traders, we're going to do a early morning webinar on Monday. This way, anybody who wants to ask questions in the currency markets that are in the southern hemisphere, it'll be a little bit easier. We're going to start at 3 hours earlier. So Monday we'll be doing our webinar 3 hours early to give opportunity for anybody who is looking at our charts down under and doesn't want to wait up until midnight to actually look into it. So just Monday we'll do that, and then Tuesday we'll go back to the regular hours again. All right. From there we let's see where we at. Let's take a look at that's the S&Ps, right? Yeah. You can see they're trying to perk it up a little bit, but no green dots. Let's see if they've given us this one yet. Oh, that commercial's on. Invest in precious metals are speculative. Oh no, involve risk. Okay. Yeah, he's saying it's a green thing to do. Buy the metals. I guess he doesn't pay attention to strip mining. Let's see. Robin says, got a paper straw at restaurant. It was wrapped in plastic. Yeah, I know. Now New Jersey's done the same thing. We've blocked all that stuff, but Pennsylvania and Delaware has not around us. So it's very, the whole thing is odd as far as I'm concerned. All right, from there let's go over and take a look at. There's the S&P daily. I think we looked at the daily. There it is. You can see here cleanly in the weekly buy and daily buy, and it's trying to lift up, and the truth. I hear you. It's crazy. Hey, Storm, you get a laugh out of that too. I agree. The truth. The truth will set you free. Woo! Oh, Dow Jones Industrial Average up 121 points. Why are we not getting that chart? Let's see if we can find that chart. You can see the S&Ps are holding up. The Tech 100 is holding up. I mean, they're in sells at the moment from this nice big run. And let's see. There's Amazon. Not Amazon, I'm sorry. That's AMC. We're waiting for the data for YM. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's just look at it on a daily basis. Right there. And as you can see, at the same time, YM is up 124 points. Almost 130 points now. Some real buying coming in there. I forget the analyst we pay time. I think his last name is Lee, and he is spot on. Buy the rumor and buy the speech itself. As Storm says, yes, it's up, but I think they are just prepping for a sell-off. I don't know. We're in that weekly buy. We've just gone through a slide of about, 1,000 plus points, almost 1,100 points plus in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and now it's coming back, and it's only down like 600 points compared to where it was a couple days ago. So I don't know if they're setting up. My math is saying that they're not. You can see it there. Daily's in daily buy for 2 days, and the weekly's been in a buy for 7 weeks. But you're right about that, Storm, in the sense that if you're going to sell them, you got to let them go up first to sell them. In other words, don't sell low and keep on trying to sell lower. The idea is sell high and buy it back cheaper. That's what it really comes down to. Okay. Now, from there, what else can we say? I guess that's about it when it comes to the stock indices, and you've seen the crypto. And I don't know, do we show you Coinbase? Let's show you Coinbase. Isn't that odd? Let me do this. There we go. Huh. There we are. Let's see. So it's not filling in the S&Ps for the moment. Maybe I have to... Let's see. Maybe we can find another way of tuning it in. CME Globex. There we are. But we do see it on the other side of it. All right. From the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we've seen all the three indices. So I think they're just popping up for sell-off. All right. So that's about it there. I guess we're kind of done. Anybody have anything to say? Matter of fact, I guess we have to come up with a title. What was today's title, really? We looked at gold and silver. We talked about the currencies. Oil and grains were pretty interesting. They really showed life in them, that's for sure. You can see here the indices are still pressuring down. There's the Tech 100. It went into the sell right there and has not been able to get back into the buy. As much as it tried there, it was still minus. And so when it finally popped, it did. It jumped into a buy right there and went right back into the sell. So it did it right there, and we're back in the sell again, and a nice win going on. All right, and then S&P, same situation. They turned around and got into the buy and back into the sell, and down it went again. They're trying to lift it as we speak. I'd imagine just as we get closer and closer to the opening. I say, I think they just prepping it up. Title. Yes. If you are green, buy silver. Yes. How about this? I like that idea. How about to be green, or say long metals if you're green or something like that? I don't know. Long silver and copper if you're green. How about that? Gold and silver. I want to put the metals in first out of it all. So should I say like silver and gold and copper be green? How's that? Buy green. I guess that's what it is. And buy silver. Sell your SUV and buy silver. I'm there on all of them. I just have to make sure it doesn't freak out YouTube. Remember, we're catering to YouTube. YouTube will get nuts if we say something green that they don't like. The next thing you know, they're blocking us for 3 months. So it's got to be like in the down low, as they would say. Got to make the statement sound like it's got some value. What can we say that would fit the green thing? How about something like silver and copper lift on green news or something like that? Maybe that could. What do you think of that? Silver, copper lift, or lift on green, something like that. What do you think? Is that safe? I don't know. I don't want to scare YouTube. The next thing you know, they're nuts. Sell your SUV and buy silver. I still like that. That's funny. All right, we're gonna get out of here, and I'll try to come up with something. But Storm, you've given me some firm ideas, solid ideas. You get them, trader. You get them. All right, this is Doc from North America. Monday morning, traders. I'm going to be starting 3 hours early. We'll be starting 3 hours early. Okay? And then we'll go back to normal again on Tuesday. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Everybody have a safe and a smart weekend. And we will catch you all on Monday, 3 hours early. Doc, over and out.